The holidays are a much-needed break for many students, but with the fun comes long, unstructured days. Children's author Melissa Williams is here with a few tips on how to keep your student learning while having a good time this winter break, which is just as important. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It always helps to read, doesn't it? And there are all kinds of fun holiday books that can kind of help keep them in the mood to do that.
Yes, exactly. One of my favorite memories as a kid was doing a family traditional read-along for 2 weeks leading up to the holidays. So it's great to pick some classic books that you know there are movies out with those books. So Christmas Carol, Little Women, The Polar Express. These are some great books that you know you can rent the movie after you finish the read-along, a couple chapters a night. And what a better way to communicate with a group of people that read a book and are watching the movie together.
Well, look, it sure worked out for you because now you're writing books, so that's really, really good to know. Okay, so you also say just make sure you keep it fun and let the children be involved. Let them pick out the book. Don't just read what you think they want to hear.
Right, keep them involved. And you know, I've been hearing that the tablets and the iPhones are big on the wish list this season. So a fun way to kind of combine maybe the reading with the apps. There are some really wonderful apps out there now. So when you're going to gift those things, be sure to download the educational fun apps first. There's one called Storehouse, where you get to use virtual technology to create really interesting pages, digital media pages. There's also Sandbox, which allows the kids to create elements with the universe, putting together water and heat to create steam, and using earthquakes to create tsunamis, and being a fiction writer that really loves to write about environmental concerns to help kids want to save the planet. I'm all over those apps too.
What a good idea to put those on there first and get them involved. And you know what I always do with my kids too is I think it's a good idea to let them play their games, but also make sure that at least half the time is doing something educational, so that they're not just so-called wasting their brain away. You do have big concerns about that because it's so popular.
And this is a good time to keep the family together, and if you're on the screen time for too long, that kind of, you know, diminishes communication. So you want to definitely keep some limits on that.
Yeah, I do have a suggestion. Have you read the latest research? Because a lot of the times we see that 2 hours max. What is your thought on that?
1 to 2 hours. 2 hours max for sure, because we're starting to see statistics where kids are spending 8 hours a day on these electronic gadgets, which is hindering the connectivity of the brain. So we want to make sure that that is very, very balanced out, especially around the holidays, because transitioning back to school, if they've been on tablets for too long, is just going to be harder.
Yeah, because they're not going to want to go back to school. They're just going to want to be thinking about, I want to get home to my new Christmas gift.
Exactly.
And just hanging out. Okay, so if that's a battle in your house and your kids just aren't into reading, do you have suggestions to make it more fun, to perhaps get them more into books? Because it almost seems like with Kindles and everything, just the good old book is becoming old school.
And that is kind of the case. So really focusing in on what are their interests. If their interest is marine life, if their interest is history, if their interests are animals, make sure that you do bring in books into their personal libraries at home that really foster their love and their passion.
Because they're going to learn some more things from that, and again, just maybe pique their interest even more. And then do you have a certain read time that you think is important? Because sometimes one book can take 3 or 4 minutes, and that might not be doing enough. I mean, is there a certain time of day that you think really helps develop a child?
Well, the morning, right when a child wakes up, and adults for that matter, our brain is so fresh because we're rested. So to read or to do something very educational in the morning hours, that's when you're going to really utilize, you know, that component. And then to kind of help a child go to sleep before bedtime, books are the best because it really does relax the brain. Electronics before bed is a no-no. We don't want to do that because that stimulates the brain, making it very hard for kids to get some good night's sleep.
All right, Melissa, thank you for being here. Such good ideas.
Thank you.
And happy writing. We can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Thank you so much.
All right. Merry Christmas.